Good morning. Welcome to Hamid's Tone Tour. I've rearranged my pedal board again. So I've actually taken off the TC Electronic Spark Mini Booster and just laid all my pedals out in this wonderful straightforward fashion. So my signal chain now is from the Ibanez into the Dunlop Crybaby Mini, into the Wampler Tumnus, into the OCD, and then that is going into the Blackstar HT5R. In the effects loop is the Catalinbread Belle Epoch, the TC Electronic Flashback delay looper, and the Ditto stereo looper, which is only not in stereo right now. So here are some of the first notes of the day that I'd share. I tend to start off kind of quiet in my playing, especially first thing in the morning, taking the vocals off. I don't know, there's a way to like set the tone. I don't go right in, I don't usually go right into high gain distortion mode like first thing in the morning. I like to get up with the light and start hearing the birds and feeling the wind in my face just a little bit, and come to the instrument and reacquaint myself in the morning. Oftentimes fingers are cold, so dexterity is coming back online, and it takes a little while to warm up. But sometimes the first notes of the day are just stinkers, and and that's just fine. But it's important to have first notes of the day. So what's this note going to be? Let's kick in the tumnus. And just adding in that new element makes me want to play something with a different feel. So there's a little bit of opening up that starts to happen as the first notes of the day progress, and well, it's kind of a rainy, gray day. Not too rainy. It's just like a little damp out here in the Pacific Northwest, and let's switch on some tape echo. happens when we stack a delay on it, a reverse delay. Sounds like that is just not a bad way to start a morning. And I love this instrument. This is the Ibanez TM302. I feel like this guitar was made to fit my body. It's an Ibanez, so Japanese design, you know, based off a T-style guitar, but you know, made in China. This is not the Prestige model. This is the cheapo. But the moment I strapped this thing on, I picked this up at TradeUp Music over on Northeast Alberta Street in Portland, Oregon, and I traded in a Joe Meek, the Neve, the poor man's Neve of preamps. I had one of the compressor preamp combinations. I traded in an old M audio preamp and a couple other things, and got this for a really great deal. And I love working with TradeUp Music because I can take the old gear and recycle it into something else, and I don't have to bother with selling it and going through Craigslist or eBay or something like that. I could just, there's time for a new creative thing in my life, and I fill my life with creativity, and guitar is one way to fill life with creativity. So I hope you find ways to fill your own life with creative endeavors, because I think it's more important than ever. It's part of my health. This is part of my healthcare. These pedals on the floor here are part of my healthcare. Because sometimes there's no other way to express all of the emotions that are happening inside a human being. And with everything that's going on in this world right now, it's more important than ever for us to express ourselves. So this is how, one of the ways in which I express myself, through a little electric guitar. Sometimes I just let it be messy, and that's frickin' okay. And sometimes I like to get it a little more pristine, and that's okay too. And sometimes you just gotta wah. do you say that in words? I don't know, but what we do know about some of the science of music is that comes from Charles Lim's work, and Charles Lim is a wonderful geeky neuroscientist and jazz pianist, and he wanted to study the brain on improvisation. And there's a wonderful TED Talk. Totally go look it up. I will link to it down below. But Charles, he puts jazz pianists and freestyle rappers in a functional MRI chamber and watches how their brain crackles as they do their thing. And really cool part of it. So he had them. A pianist, and he'd rigged up this special keyboard and mirror system so they could lay it in the MRI chamber and still reach the keys, which is not a usual place that a jazz musician ends up, but every now and then science happens. So he has the pianist memorize a piece of music and play it back, and the memory centers of the brain light up, but he gets them improvising. Yeah, I can't. It's still morning. So the improvisation of the music lights up the expressive, communicative centers of the brain. So I've started looking at and he did this with freestyle rappers as well. He had Mos Def in a functional MRI chamber. Doing his thing in there, and there's video of it in the TED Talk. So go look up Charles Lim's work. But I've started looking at these instruments as expressive tools to communicate. And music communicates emotion depending on how things are plucked. Like. What does that communicate, and how is that different from? So a really different feel. You can play those same chords and in a myriad of different ways, and it'll have a very different feel. So that communicates something maybe different too, as opposed to maybe. So different feelings can come across. Same notes, same chords, and they can be played a variety of different ways. I love finding. All of those different variations, from maybe starting something like really simply. Right now, just on the board, I have the Wampler Tumnus on. See more complexity. Changing up the feel. So, just making shit up. that's a lot of what music is human beings finding a piece of wood and putting a string over tension and making sounds. So go make sounds. Let's all make sounds. Use your voice. Use a Tibetan singing bowl. Use a guitar. Use a cello. Use percussion. We need more cowbell. Counting on you. We need more cowbell. This is Hamid. I'm out.